Hey everybody, welcome to episode 29 Between the Lanes. I'm Ralph.
I'm Ron.
All right, we had a lot of racing last weekend and a couple hot topics. So let's go ahead and get those race results out of the way.
Okay, so race results. Texas Retro Series was at Dallas Slot Cars in Garland, Texas. And in the F1 class, it was Ken Stevens, your winner, with Gary Dean second and Casey Neubauer third. Can-Am, Ken Stevens doubled up. Casey was second and Gary was third. And in Retro Pro, Ricky Bailey Jr. was your winner with Ken Stevens second and Casey third. The SCRRA was at Buena Park Raceway as usual. In the F1 class, Dale Yamashita was your winner, followed by Eddie Shore and Jim Lane. And in Can-Am, Duran was the winner, and Dale Yamashita was second, and Sam Rackham was third. And a side note, Sam Rackham won the B main in the F1 race, and kind of would have finished overall if they did overall totals, but he would have finished second. But they had to do the move-up system. So, and then the Gator Retro Racing group was down at Fast Eddie's in Pinellas Park, Florida. And there's the racers there and picture of the raceway. And in the stock car class, Jeff Bonanno was your winner. Rick Moore was second. Fast Eddie Hoffman, the raceway owner, was third. Can-Am, no picture of the podium, but Jeff Bonanno won again. Rick Moore was second. Brian Ambrose third. And in the F1 class, Jeff Bonanno pulled off the sweep of all three, with Brian Ambrose second and Rick Moore third. American Womp Racing Association was down in Beckley, West Virginia. In Legends class, Gary Brooks was your winner. Charles Eldridge on the right was second, and Jesse Raines there on the left was third. And in the Sportsman class, Charles was the winner. David Thurman on the right was second, and Jesse Raines was third again. Tri-State Raceway down in Middletown, Ohio had a small wing car race, as they put it. In the Box 12 class, Dave Superman Seaver was the winner. Perry Walters was second, and Frank Furley was third. And in the Hillbilly 12 class, Frank Furley was the winner. Terry Rice, the raceway owner, was second. And Scott Brandenburg was third. Retro East was at Speed Zone, Mount Holly, New Jersey. In the GTC Coupe class, Jerry Herbert Jr. was the winner, followed by Edsel and Matt Bruce. And then in Can-Am, Jerry Herbert pulled off the double by winning Can-Am, with John Gorski second and Edsel in third. USCA was at Mid-America Bloomington on the ultra-fast hill climb track there. In the IndyCar class, Ken Williams was the winner, with Toby Kindig second and Bill Sabenik in third. And then this shot, basically this was the podium for the next three classes: 4.5-inch stock car, Can-Am, and production. So Ken Williams won all four races. Bill Sabenik was second in three races, and Toby Kindig was third in three races, or three classes. So, and then the Flexi National Racing Series, which you and I both attended, was at Hobby Max down in Durham, North Carolina. In LMP, Ralph was the TQ. Bobby Beachman was your winner. Nick Brantley was second. Matty Haynes was third. In stock cars, Ralph again TQ'd, and Ralph won. Nick Brantley was second again. Russ Martin was third. And then in the GTP class, the overall was Russ Martin, your winner. And Nick was second again, and Shane wound up third. And in the skee ball tournament, Ralph, who is that man? Shane Parent was a skee ball champion, beating Ralph by 1,000 points. Right, Ralph?
Yeah, I was just one roll short of the W.
Well, you threw that big air ball right off the bat.
Yeah, I miscalculated the trajectory of that, the angle of that launch ramp there, and it got me.
And he took, what, a whopping $8, was it?
Yeah, it's about $8. Yeah.
Okay. And, after you left, they kind of fired up the basketball machine, and Walker McNulty was taking him to school on that one.
Oh,
So,
what a bunch of chicken shits wouldn't take me up on that while I was there.
so yeah, Maddie and Shane and Walker was all in on that one. It was quite entertaining, but the Walker took him to school on that one. So that's your boom winning race results report.
Sunday.
You're getting good at this. All right, this Sunday we got Great Lakes ISRA at Mid-America Naperville, and also the B&E Crosstown Challenge Series will be there later in the day. ORS is at Fast Tracks, and the AWRA is at Cordell Speedway in Marietta, Georgia. You going?
No. I didn't even know about it. What is it?
It's the AWRA, the American Womp Racing Association.
And when is it?
It's this Saturday.
Yeah, I had no idea about that.
No idea. Well, now you do. See, you watch the show, you get informed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any Womp cars, so, I mean, I guess I'm out of luck, but.
No Womp cars? They'll have loaners. Never know.
Will they? I don't know. Well.
Because I went on my journey to Durham. I passed Beckley, West Virginia, and I didn't really kind of realize that. And I'm driving, and it says Beckley, and I'm thinking, wow, I could just stop here and race Womps tomorrow. But
Right.
I don't have any Womps either. I'm like you. I got some old Womps, but
I mean, if I don't know. Never mind.
say it.
No.
You're not a race winner till you've won with them. Have you ever raced a Womp?
No, I can't say that I have, to be honest with you.
Okay. See, back in the day, when I started, that was like the big class with Womps.
Right.
That was pre-Flexi car days, so tons of Womp racing going on every day. But that's
a lot of FCR racing, but not Womps.
That's just a big Womp.
I know, yeah.
Or a pregnant Womp.
Yeah.
So what did we learn this weekend? Anything? Oh, wait a minute. Before I go on, the USRA also announced the two bid sites for the 2019 Scale Nats in Speed Zone, New Jersey, and
Slot car track.
Concord will also be. So at this year's Nats in April, there will be a vote amongst the membership present where the 2019 Scale Nats will go. So
right.
Those are the two tracks. So what did we learn this weekend, Ralph? You suck at skee ball. No. Close second.
I just miscalculated the first row. That's it. Okay? So, all right. So the story behind the skee ball is they had like a semi-lengthy track repair going on. And they have a lot of arcade machines in this building that we're in. You know, they're kind of right by there's like a row of them right next to the slot car track. And they were taking up $1 bet to see what the TQ time would be for GTP. I said, all right, well, they have the little basketball game, buckets you can get in like 2 minutes. I said, play somebody for $10. And everyone was like, no, we can't do that. We don't want to do that, because they knew they'd get schooled. So
maybe, I don't know. Go on.
So I said, all right, what about skee ball? There's a skee ball machine. And Shane said, I'll play you skee ball for $10. I said, all right. So we played skee ball, and Shane won 18,000 to 17,000, and he became the FNRS National Skee Ball Champion till we go back there next year. So we were just having fun, killing time, basically. Between races during the track repair, just having fun. So as far as racing wise, I mean, honestly, I really can't say that I learned a lot. The only thing that I can say is shame on me for trusting a Massetti pan to not break. That's my only regret for the weekend, really.
You have a problem. You have a problem with that.
I seem to, yeah.
How many of you broke?
At least 4 or 5, honestly.
Your illustrious career.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5.
And again, like I said last week, I mean, everyone I've ever seen break has body clips, which really makes no sense. But hey,
I mean, I don't think it's got anything to do with the clip. I mean, I don't see how it can be the clip and not the pin. But I don't know. I don't
think
know.
you're crashing too hard. You're trying too hard to get that extra thousandth or two.
Yeah, I didn't even crash this time.
Well, you got crashed the first turn in the
Yeah.
LMP race and broke a paint.
Right. But I didn't do it though.
But I've seen you break them out there in testing too.
Yeah, I've broken them you've been practice and races. Yeah, I don't know. I want to figure out do something different because that's cost me quite a few races. So, Shane, like I said, I mean, I should have known better because this happened before. I mean, I was just being stupid and believing that something would change magically. So, lesson learned for me there. Other than that, I can't really say I learned too much. What about you?
Well, no, I mean, let's see. I was trying to think where I want to start with this. I mean, the track wasn't bad. It was just kind of like maybe prep different or glued different from when we were down there in August. So
yeah, it's definitely a little different.
The kink section to me was off a little bit. I mean, I adjusted to it, but it wasn't. I couldn't drive it like I did in August, if that makes any sense. So I had to adjust up for that. But I thought the rest of the track was really good. I mean, again, it really came down to tires at the end of the deal. I mean, like I started with certain tires and then tried other tires. I think I think one of the coolest things is like, after the stock car race, there's that 1 hour between stock car and GTP. So it's kind of like happy hour. Everyone's out there with their GTP cars trying to get them to go as fast as they can. And I mean, you're seeing mad thrashes and mad dashes last minute, last second. And, I mean, I was kind of like the fastest guy in most of the practice test sessions. And then, you went like 441. And I thought, well, maybe I should try this other tire. And so I went over and ground a set down real quick and went like a 332 or 432, which was like super fast. Because I don't think anybody had been to 4.3s at that point. Or maybe I had like a real high 4.3, but, and then anyway, so it was like, wow, okay. So then we qualified. And of course you guys started the betting on how fast I was going to go. But then Russ come up and clipped me. So, I mean, Russ was fast. He was close in practice too. And, there was another deal where he ran like those Coford spec wing car tires and, super big hub. And I mean, I tried those one time down when we raced at Tracy's a year ago and they didn't really work there, but they worked for Russ this weekend for sure. So, and then the race, I mean, my car was good and everything, but I just fell off way too many times. I mean, I just fell off way too many times. So,
yeah, I mean,
that was on me. So, I mean,
I don't typically take races too personal, but this race was kind of personal for me. Last August, basically it was like my first time there. Really, you never really raced on that track, and there was somebody there, which I'm not going to name any names. Who that was like basically his home raceway, and he's probably won like hundreds of races on that track. And I was racing him pretty hard for the win, and there was about 8 people standing behind the driver's panels, his family and other racers that race the series and his friends and stuff. They're all kind of standing behind the driver's panel and watching the whole race, and they were like like I swear to God, they were like in my fucking ear. Literally, they were like
Was this weekend or last August?
last year.
Okay.
And all they kept saying is, Ralph can't win. Ralph can't win. He can't beat him. He'll never beat blank blank. Blank blank's just too good on this track. He can't be beat. And then he beats me by like a fucking lap, which realistically he should have beat me by like 20 as much as he's raced on that track and I never had.
Right.
But whatever, he beats me by a lap. Good race. But as soon as the power goes off, they're like, oh, yeah. I mean, like, you thought it was like the Daytona 500, And I said, okay. I said, next year. We'll see what happens next year. So next year came around. It was this past weekend, and I went up there on a mission, and that was it. I completed my mission. So it was a good one for me. I was excited. Because I don't normally take things personal. But that one I kind of did just because they were all just like hating, just talking right in my ear about blah, 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 about how I couldn't do this or how I couldn't do that. So, yeah, so I left on Thursday. I said Thursday I'm going to work on I got there at noon on Thursday. I said I'm going to put 7 hours in my LMP car, come to the track Friday, put 12 hours in my stock car. And, I mean, that kind of paid off. I mean, I sat on the I think I had the pole in LMP by a 10th. I just had bad luck first turn. Bobby ran a great race. He was fast though. Yeah. I mean, he ran a really good race.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have beat him, but
he'd been closer.
Like to see where I would have fared out anyway. But not taking anything away from him because he ran a great race, and that was his first FNRS win. I know he'd been trying for one of those for a while. And stock car took the pole and pretty much just went flag to flag, beating blank blank, who I set out to beat. So,
and this is Ralph's rant.
Yeah.
Ralph is glowing.
I don't really, all right, anyway. Yeah. I mean, I just don't like people telling me I can't do something or
right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
It was just I'm going to prove you wrong day. That's all.
Right. There's two adages there. One is one track wonder, and the other one is some people won't go anywhere else if they can't win at home. So I've seen people that can't win at home go somewhere else and win, but
yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think Russ Martin got his first FNRS win too, which was good. So,
yeah, he did. Yeah. I think that was his first one too.
He didn't qualify well in LMP, but he won the B main there, and I guess he got third in stock car, and he won GTP. So he had a good. He had a good weekend. Yeah,
the wins seem to spread out. Like really, if you look at the overall wins of the series, I mean, they're not like. I mean, I'm sure people think you and I win most of them, but I mean, really, I mean, there's a lot. It's really spread out, though. There's quite a few different winners.
Right. And if we've won the most, it's because we went to the most places, probably.
Right.
I mean, Shane and Bobby, I think, went to all the races last year.
Yeah.
So there's only been a handful of guys that's went. Well, I mean, probably only 3 guys that's went to all the races.
Yeah. But overall, it's a really competitive series. It's really turned out to be a lot of fun to run in.
Right.
There's been a lot of people came in and just thought they were just gonna like mop up, and
no,
it won't happen like that.
No. So Chris Barnes came and raced with us for the first time, and I think he learned quite a bit.
Yeah, Chris did good, especially for not having raced a flexi car in really so long.
Yeah, but is it that hard?
No, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying, he hadn't been on that track in years.
Right.
He don't really race too much anyway.
Yeah, he probably would have. He would have run really good if it had been on a hill climb or maybe a king track, but
yeah,
or he'd run better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, he ran pretty good given the circumstances.
Right.
So,
like I said, I don't think that track is super difficult, but
no, it's just different.
Right, and I think Pete had posted too that he didn't think the track was prepped as well as it could have been, or maybe something like that. I forget what he said, but
Well, when I got there, I mean, I was the first one there, and it was like I don't really think it had been cleaned and glued.
okay,
I mean, not in weeks anyway. It seemed
okay,
like because there was like a little bit of rubber on every lane, but it's like it looks like they cleaned it, glued it, maybe ran a race, and then it sat for a week or two. It's kind
right,
of what it seems like, you know.
right. So anyway,
Whatever. I mean, it was the same for everybody. I mean, you know.
right. And when I got there on Friday, I mean, I thought the track was okay. I mean, it was. Like I said, to me,
Oh, it came in. Yeah, I mean, it came in. It just took a lot of running on it.
yeah, the kink was just off a little bit. But I mean, and then like last August, I mean, I didn't look at the other classes, but in GTP, I mean, I won with 206. And this time it was 198 was the win. But the GTP main was pretty clean. I mean, the A main was pretty clean to where, it wasn't like it was a crash fest. That's why we didn't run laps. I don't know why. And our cars were faster. I mean, both me and Russ was half a tenth and a tenth faster than last time there. So I don't know what the deal was. I don't know why we ran lesser laps. But
well, it was funny too, like because the LMP TQ time was like over a tenth faster than it was last year, but the stock car time was almost a tenth slower. But then the GTP was like a little bit quicker.
Right. And like Nick, I mean,
and I think that shows. That it has less bite, right? Because the stock cars really need the most bite because they got the least downforce.
Right.
So right. I think that shows that it was not as bitey or prepped.
Okay. And then Nick won the B main GTP, but I mean, I think only 4 cars finished that race. I mean, that was, I don't want to say a crash fest, but there was just a lot of guys that fell out of that race for whatever reason. And I think I only seen, I think, 2 motors the entire weekend go up. I think a Retro Hawk was lost, and I think a ProSide FK motor was lost. But other than that, I mean, there's really no motor issues on either side. So, the GTP, it was kind of funny because after the race was over, basically me, Bobby, and Shane was kind of locked in a battle for second, third, and fourth for the last couple of heats. So going into the last heat, they had crossed the counter. They showed 1 lap on me. I was getting ready to cross the counter. So Bobby's on yellow, I'm on orange, Shane's on white. I'm thinking, well, if I can keep my car on, I might be able to run them down. So about a minute into the final heat, the 3 of us were running side by side for second, third, and fourth. So I kind of got out ahead of them, and then I fell off for no reason. I mean, I just fell off. So they went by me, and I thought, well, maybe I can catch back up. And at that point, Shane had pulled away from Bobby, and I caught Bobby, and I think Bobby came off. Anyway, me and Bobby we were off in the same deal. So Bobby got put on, he took off, and they put me on, and I'm trying to catch him, and, we're running out of time, 30 seconds to go, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I can catch him, and then I think with 7 seconds to go or something, Bobby came off. He'd crossed the lap counter and come off in the turn right past the lap counter. So I went by him, and when the power went off, I was coming out from under the bridge, and he was sitting there right past the lap counter. And we both had 193 laps, but he showed 94 zones or sections, and I showed 88, which was incorrect because I was closer to the counter than he was. So I had to manually correct the finishing zones, which down there they don't do that at the end of every race, which with Lapmaster you're supposed to do that. So I went over and corrected it. I said, Bobby, says you're ahead of me with zones, but I'm ahead of you. And he says, that's right. So I went over and corrected his zone so the counter, the printout would be correct in the order. So no issues, no problems. Get home and I get a message from a racer that was there and said that, well, Bobby's last lap didn't count because going back to when me and Bobby tangled, Shane come around and lapped us. So Shane was a full lap up on us. So his claim was that Bobby coasted through when the power went off, and his lap didn't count, which was not correct. But that led to the question, because in years past, some lap counting systems, when the power goes off in the final heat, it does not count laps if they coast across.
Yeah, specifically SRT.
Right. SRT, right. So, it was like, okay, so, well, maybe that's the case, but no, I know that's not the case. But you know what? That's a good question, because does Karstein actually count if a car coasts through and the power goes off for the final time at the end of the race? So I sent an email to Steen, and he responded right back. Great customer service, even though I wasn't a customer. But he's like, no, there's a 3-second delay. The counter is hot for 3 seconds after every heat and at the finish of the race. So if Bobby had coasted through,
it would have counted.
It would have counted, right? But, and then it's like, well, if you gave, so that was like, well, you should give Bobby a lap because he missed his lap. Well, that would have put Bobby on the same lap as Shane, which we knew Shane was a lap up on us. But then also, if you gave Bobby the lap, he would have had more zones than Shane did, even though Shane was ahead of him on the track. So, and then asking, and someone else told me that on that system, and I don't know if it's true or not, but in Bobby's case, he went through, and until he came back around and crossed it, that kind of resets the zone deal. So I didn't ask Steen that, but that kind of makes sense. But I know that on Lapmaster, a lot of times the zones are not correct, let's say, in placement of cars, because you'll see that at the end of the race when you're at tracks where they do put in the final zone, the lap counter zone will not be accurate to where the car is on the track. So that's why it's important that you do that. And another thing about Lapmaster too is sometimes you'll run like, say, a 38 lap heat, and at the end of the race, when you look at the stats printout, you have no 38. It's like 37.999 or something, because it recalculates the zones at the end when you put in the finishing zone. So,
right.
I mean, running 38 laps and crossing the lap counter 38 times is two different things. And that's what some people don't understand about Karstein or the Lapmaster system. So, but if the results was no controversy, just someone had a question, and so like I said, I didn't know if that counter was hot after the power went off, and it is on Lapmaster. So, and if he had coasted through, it also would have showed green in the box for the laps.
Right.
So, and I guess on the newest version, if you have Lapmaster, you can go online and download updates or changes. And the latest one, according to him, if the power went off and 1 second later you coasted through, the counter would go ping or make that noise it makes.
Yeah.
And then your light would be green. So older versions, the light would be green, but there would be no ping you would hear after the power went off.
Right.
Track calls. I guess the same on track calls. Like if there's a track call and your car coasts through now, you'll hear the beep or the ping or whatever. So just to
cool.
If you have Lapmaster, you might want to go onto their site and download the latest update.
Software upgrades.
Yeah. So
cool.
So other than that,
we got a. I see your nice Port City Motorsports hat. So we have a hat to give away this week.
Shane Parent gave me a hat. I told him I'd wear it on the show if he gave it to me. Courtesy
of Shane Parent.
Yep, we have a hat to give away. And you will have to contact me so I can mail it to you straight from the studio.
All right. And if you want an autograph, that's no extra charge.
Well, whose autograph?
Yours, of course.
Oh, mine. From the boys at Between the Lanes, Ralph and Ron. And our winner is Bill Bowers.
Bill Bowers. There you go.
Good guy, Bill Bowers. He's down your way, isn't he?
Yeah, he's over in Alabama.
Bill Bowers. I might have his address somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he'll get a hold of me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's
so,
a watcher.
So we had somebody,
in the mailbox?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I lost it.
Oh, no.
I had an in the mailbox question, but I can't find it in my mailbox.
Was it in your mailbox or Between the Lanes mailbox?
I think it was in mine for Between the Lanes. If I can find it, I'll bring it up. But, we also had somebody didn't come to the race because they thought they couldn't run older retro Hawks. Which, we never made that. We never made that announcement. So,
misinformation.
Future, yeah. And there was also some misinformation floating around that that Mark Keto at Mark's Model World does not allow retro Hawks to be raced on his track, and therefore when the FNRS comes there, they will not be allowed to race retro Hawks. Well, that is not true.
No.
So, not true at all. So, want to clear that up too. Other than that, I don't know. Don't really got that much this week.
No, I don't either. Just kind of swamped under. It took a lot to get. I had to find time to prep for the show because just so swamped under at the moment. So I was swamped under before I went and swamped under after I got back. So
who do you think's gonna probably get the scale nats next year? What's your guess?
It's hard. I don't know. I don't until I see like the actual proposals because they have to put them up. Not the proposals. They have to put the presentations up. I mean, everybody's familiar with Speed Zone and everything. So, I talked to Randy a little bit this past weekend because last year Randy and Walker came to the Scale Nats, and after that they were thinking about buying the Anaconda track.
Yeah, they're pretty gung ho on it for a minute.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're still looking at that or thinking about that. But Randy's been offered a road course to use, and Randy is also thinking about maybe building or having a road course built. So,
yeah, see, that's an issue to me, right? Like, how can you bid on the Nats or even come up with a proposal if you don't even have the required tracks? Like, how can you just say, "Oh yeah, I'll get something"?
Well,
and I'll go get something. Like, why would anybody vote for something that they don't even know what they're going to race on? It's like
and that's happened in the past. I mean, we've also bid or voted on a raceway with certain tracks, but then the tracks got changed or the tracks got moved to a different location. So that's happened in the past as well. And I don't know, it sits well with some and doesn't sit well with others. So,
just to me as a racer, I wouldn't vote for something that I didn't know what I was voting for. I get there's a lot of people that are going to vote for it just because they want the race to be in that area. I understand that.
Right, and
and they probably don't even give a shit about what the flat track is anyway because they probably not going to run flat tracks.
Right,
but I don't know.
And then there's
just seems unlikely that they would win without having the actual tracks already.
I think it's been done before.
I'm not saying that's not going to happen. It just seems odd.
Right. So I like I said, we have voted in the past to go to. Certainly, to me as a racer, I guess I look at the location, the tracks that are there, and I guess the raceway's reputation as far as racing or putting on a race, and then what kind of local support they might have or might not have, and also having the actual track there to me is not that important. I mean, okay, you're going to be voting in April for something next April, and my thing is, as long as the tracks are there, probably a minimum of 6 months prior to the actual race. So if I want to go there,
well, what is the deadline that they would have to have the actual national in by?
I don't think there's an actual deadline.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid. But.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, there's been in the past races in hotels where tracks were built for that event, and those tracks didn't show up until a day or two before the event started. So in that case, there's really no warm-up race ever took place on those tracks. And, I mean, it's, the guys that are at the Nats are going to vote where they want to go next year. It's a 50-50 deal. One of the two are going to win. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I see it going to Speed Zone, but
so
doesn't really matter to me where it goes.
Right. Doesn't matter to me either. So, and I think, the other thing I think that we'll probably see in the next, hopefully in the next few days or weeks or within a week, is where the USRA Wing Car Nats is going to be.
Right.
So, I don't know what all's going on there, but I should say no, but I'm pretty sure they're working on it and looking at options.
Right.
So,
okay,
is what it is.
Yeah,
and I don't know what else to say about any of that.
Yeah, there's not much to say really. I mean, they got their, the new organization. They got their logo up, and it looks like they put a schedule up and. Going to have some warm-up races and stuff for their deal.
Well, in a question or something that came up the other day was, and well, we can talk about this for a few minutes too. I guess, from my understanding, the new group has not put up any payout information if there's going to be a payout or not to the racers.
Okay.
Now, in the USRA, that is a requirement in the Nats bid and presentation. How much you're going to pay out above the normal 50% and the actual payout scale, meaning the top 8.
Okay.
That's a requirement, and that's something that's followed through. But the new group supposedly hasn't put any information up, and I was told there was a rumor that the new group is not going to have a payout. So the raceway would get all the money, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, okay? But I guess the question is, how many guys or how many people actually go to races because there's a payout versus they don't go to a race because there is no payout?
Round track races or drag racers?
No, I'm talking road course, wing car racers, flexi car racers. Anything like on a not drag racing is completely out of this. This is just, like I said, you go to the USRA Nats, you know that if I finish first through eighth, I'm going to get a percentage of half of the take of the entry fees. So let's say there's $2,000 taken in entry fees in a class. That's kind of high, but I'm just saying there's $2,000 in there. The track's going to keep a minimum of $1,000. They're going to pay out a minimum of $1,000. That $1,000 will be divided between the top 8 finishers.
Right.
So, but the same thing is, I don't know how many entries or what the payout's going to be before I leave my house. I just know that if I go to the Nats, if there's 10 guys or 30 guys, and I finish in the top 8, I'm going to get a certificate. Or in some of the other classes that pay cash, you'll get some cash.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't make me go to the race.
Well, I never went to a Nats to win money.
Nine times out of 10, even if you win money, you spent more than you won to go make the money.
Exactly. So that's the question. I mean, if that's the case, will people stay home or not? Like you said, personally, it never. I never went to the Nats because I knew I was going to get money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I I've been to a handful of races where like it was a guaranteed, $200 to win, and no matter how many people showed up, and like three
Right.
people showed up, and they had to pay out the money. I mean,
Sure.
so I've seen it go wrong plenty of times, but I've
Oh.
never went just for the cash. I mean, I go to win.
Right.
There happens to be cash, cool.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, every now and then someone will say, "Hey, they're having a flexi race that's paying 200 cash to win. You going?" No. Why not? Because I'll spend more than that to go there to win and just
Right.
win another race. I mean, it's
Right.
so. So I don't know. So retro racing is no payouts. FNRS has no payouts. The raceways get all the money, but we don't charge a big entry fee to begin with. So I guess if guys want to pay out, you're going to have to pay more in entry fees. And because the tracks have to make money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they got to.
So, I mean, I think the Raceway this weekend did pretty, I don't say they did real good, but they did well for the amount of racers that were there. So,
Yeah.
is what it is.
I mean, I didn't see a lot of people in there racing RC cars, so I mean, like
No.
the way I mean, if we hadn't have been there, I mean, who would have come in that place?
Well, I know. But at the same time, it was 75 degrees there, which was unseasonably warm.
Right.
So people would, locals that would go there and run their RC cars, they were obviously outside doing something else or doing things outside. So, because it was really nice and warm there. I mean, I got back here at like 5:30, and when I left there, it was 70 degrees at 9 in the morning. And when I got here, it was like in the 50s. And then after about an hour of being here, I kind of got chilled, and I just like could not get warmed up for a while because I guess my body wasn't, I don't know what to do. I didn't get that used to the weather down there because I was inside.
You must have.
But yeah, it was just kind of weird. So I didn't get pulled over on the way home. So
Oh yeah, no stop and go penalties on the way home.
no stop and go. Stop and go on the way. Nice warning.
Yeah.
So
All
could
right.
be much worse.
Yeah, you could have put you.
I could have maybe been in fisticuffs. I don't know. Or
Yeah, could have put you in the pokey. You never know.
Yep.
So.
Nice officer, but I was nice to him too. So.
All right. Well, that's about all I got this week.
Okay, that's all I got.
All right.
We will see everybody next week.
All right. Secret word of the show?
Oh, skee ball.
That's what I was. If you were going to ask me, that's what I was going to say.
We decided that at dinner after the races.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, because somebody says, "What's the secret word of the show going to be?" And I said, "I haven't even thought about it yet." I mean, like, so somebody's like, "Should be skee ball." I said, "That's perfect."
There you go.
Ralph lost $8, $10, whatever it was.
Well, Shane was just better handling the balls than me. That's all I can say.
And Shane won the TQ bet, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he left there with the big wad of cash, the big $16 or whatever. How many of you guys was in on that betting deal?
I don't even know. I don't know. Somebody just asked me to pick a number. I picked a number.
You have to watch out because
and you ran my number
first lap.
Yeah, and then
told me to stop.
Then you could have pulled it.
Yeah, I could have pulled it, and then the FBI would have been investigating us for point shaving or something.
Yeah.
Be like Rick Pitino losing my job.
And then Russ came up there and just waxed everybody, so whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I think Shane had 434 and I went through 435, or maybe he had 435 and I ran 435. I don't remember, but
yeah,
he was the closest. Sorry, Ralph.
Better work next time.
I wasn't in on it, so hey.
See, I didn't buy any lottery tickets this trip, but I should have. I probably would have been better off.
Go stood in line over there
So,
at
yeah.
the gas station.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
T-ball it is. I got to get back to it.
Well, everybody have a good week. If you're going racing this weekend, be safe. Have fun. Have fun racing Wamps this weekend, Ralph.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.